My father's name was Sam George Gornick. It was Gornitsky before he came to the United States, and he shortened it. And he was born in Grodno, Poland, which is a small town next to Białystok. He worked in Białystok, and he went to college in Germany, where he was studying medicine, but then decided he didn't want to, and he went back to Poland. And he went into business with his brother-in-law in having a textile store, and they were very successful and were doing very well. And he had gotten married when he was young, and his wife died after a year. And I found that out much later in life. He probably would have never told me about that if a relative hadn't mentioned it. He was 37 in 1940, and he said that he didn't leave. They just didn't really think, they didn't believe what was going to happen. He was sent to Dachau, Auschwitz, and he was liberated in Mauthausen in Austria. He didn't talk a lot about it, and it was very difficult for me. I didn't want to ask him too much about it because I felt that it was like bringing up really sad and difficult memories. My father told a story that when he was in the camp, there was a priest with him, and they were standing and looking at the sky, and they could see the people being marched to the crematoriums. And this priest told my father that, he said, "You're young and you may survive this. I don't know if I will. But one thing I'm telling you is you should not tell anybody about what you've seen here, because once you leave here and you'll recount these stories, no one will ever believe you, and they're going to think that you're insane, and they're going to commit you to an insane asylum." So my father told this story and said that at first he was very unwilling to talk about anything about what had happened because he really believed that no one would believe it.
How was it like growing up with your dad surviving the Holocaust?
Well, it was a little difficult because a lot of times I didn't want to hurt his feelings, because I always felt that he had suffered a lot in life, so much in life, that I really carried some guilt with me if I made him feel like unhappy or anger. You know, he might have had that kind of depression because of the war, or it could have just been something that he had it anyway, you know. But it wasn't that we were triggering anything.
So it was his past?
His past, yeah. He would get really depressed and not talk to us sometimes for 3 weeks at a time. And I couldn't have a dog when I was a child because he said that, like, we tried at one point. I had a dog for about 6 months, and when the dog would bark, it would cause my dad to have a lot of nightmares. And I can remember that period of time, my father, like, not sleeping well, and hearing my mom telling him, "It's okay, it's okay." That was because, like, he had told me, that when the, the internees in the concentration camps, when they would sometimes try to escape and they would, like, run towards the barbed wire, and the German shepherds would, like, sick the people, and they would, tear the people apart. He also didn't like barbecues too much, but he would go and he would eat barbecue meat, but he said it was kind of difficult sometimes because it would remind him of the smell of barbecue flesh. After the war, he was, liberated in Mauthausen, which is right near Salzburg, He lived in a small town that was occupied by the Americans, and he went to work for the American Army, and they even gave him a uniform. So he came to New York, and he stayed a little while with his family in New York, and then he came to Los Angeles because this is where his best friend was.